Hi there, guys, and welcome to the Chronicles of Gamers. This is a podcast where we love to explain our love-hate relationship with video games. And I, of course, am your host with the most, the greatest video game podcaster out there, as far as I fucking know, because everyone else has been basically copying other people's shit, but we're doing it different. Efocutioner. Yeah. Yo, I love my music, man. But I gotta get my music. And then, of course, we got the amazing, talented, glory, fantastic video game maestro, composer who loves games, Gamer Composer.
What it looked like.
Yo, I'm gonna let this run for a bit. Yo, y'all cannot tell me that Gamer Composer did not pick a good intro. Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, mine's just like all serious and shit. I want this. I want something like this chill and shit. This is too fucking chill. So far, I have not heard something on par to this level. I'm really gonna search for a better one.
It's tough.
Yeah, man. All right, so
how you feeling, Efocutioner? What's going on with you?
Man, you know what, man? I'm a little upset. I think we talked about it yesterday about, me and the boycotting with the video games. But, I think I still have stuff to play. But, that really rolled in my mind. I'm like, damn, man, I do boycott a lot of fucking companies. When it comes to, like, when they release games and shit. And I don't know, I feel like that's something we should talk about. But, I mean, maybe not this episode. But it definitely made me sit down and think about it. And, yeah, I don't know. I guess I never really thought about it until you mentioned it yesterday. So, like, for those that don't know, I'll just create a quick synopsis, and then maybe on a future episode I'll talk about it. But I mentioned to Gamer Composer mentioned to me that I tend to boycott a lot of companies when they do stupid bullshit, like, Star Wars Battlefront 2 with EA, and pretty much EA in general, and then Activision with... pick a moment with Activision. So, just pick a moment within this decade.
Poison.
Yeah, and just me not playing any Activision games. So it's been kind of tough because there's been some really... From what I've seen, there has been some decent Activision games. Well, at least now. And then EA with the new Star Wars game. But, yeah. What about you, Gamer Composer? How you feeling?
Feeling a little bit better. I've definitely haven't been playing as much games as I've been trying to write game music. But I have been playing at least Death Stranding. I've been playing actually some indie developer games. I was checking out Mesh. Redo. How do you actually say that word?
I have no idea.
Let's hear it right now.
That's actually a very good point.
Redux. I thought it was Redux.
Redux? Is that what it's called?
Mesh Redux on Android. It's actually a cool thing. It reminds me of Electron Flux, so I was checking that out.
I thought it was Redo. Which is
I looked up on Google right now.
Okay.
They said it's Redux. But
I knew that.
Yeah, so I've been playing a little bit of stuff and trying to get some ideas and gain some ideas and things to kind of push forward with, but it's excuse me, it's a lot of work. I'm actually getting ready to do a talk on a free summit if you want to join for business for indie games. And actually you should join.
To talk?
No, you should join the summit. It's free.
Oh, okay. Wait, what is the summit about? I just join to listen or join to talk?
You could join to listen and check it out. It's just a different type of how to thrive in strategy, finance, and marketing for video games. They got different speakers from around the world and the globe. And yeah, I can send you the link, and we can put the link in the description of the video too.
Yeah, man, we'll put it in the show notes. Yes, y'all been clicking on the show notes. So I like that.
But early shameless plug, I'm speaking on that. The video should be out hopefully in December. I got deadline by next week, so I got to write up everything and do all that shit. Yeah, I think it goes live December 9th through the 13th.
Nice.
It's free, so you want to get it now.
Yeah, come on, man.
Throwback.
You know I have to press the buttons. All right.
That's a throwback, but yeah,
it has been. We haven't really done it a lot, have we? We mostly have used this button a lot. Oh no, this is definitely not the button. This is the button. We definitely use this button a lot, and this one. So let's get into the show because I know how much you guys listen to it. So fucking, I guess this is a victory. PlayStation cartridge patent. It's been registered in Brazil by Sony Interactive Entertainment. For those that do not know, this was on Reset Era. I'll put the thing in the show notes. And honestly, it's literally a game cartridge. It looks like a memory card from the back of the day PS2 era. Or if you ever had an N64. Well, it's not as big as the Rumble Pack. But you know what? I hope that the game cartridge ends up being exactly like, what is it? You remember the Dreamcast cartridge that they used to have? Where you used to just plug it in and then you could take it out and it was like a portable little mini type of player as well. I hope PlayStation does something like that. But it's just interesting seeing that little cartridge because this is something I've been talking about with the PlayStation 5. Fucking storage. How they gonna do storage? That SSD, because... I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's interesting. I mean, they're just now gonna do storage. But they're gonna just do cartridges. I mean, the Switch must be that good. I know that discs are extremely expensive too, so they might be taking some. I mean, flash memory is extremely cheap. I mean, now I've seen Game Boy cartridges pop up that don't even have to say Nintendo on it. They just say like game or some dot matrix, whatever, something like that, and it's just wow, it's crazy. So I guess this is it's still expensive, but not as expensive as it used to be. But flash is even less expensive. So it makes sense that they would probably do. That's kind of crazy though. Like that means it was going back to their prototype for the Sony PlayStation hybrid, which the Panasonic and Sony like relationship that happened, right? And
I remember a little bit of
that. It's the Panasonic because it was going to be the Nintendo and Sony like collaboration.
Correct, and someone had that console and then the cartridge and stuff with it.
Yeah, exactly.
They took a picture. Yeah, I remember that. But this does kind of go into my theory of like how I said about the memory, because I don't think like the idea of what the console is going to be like and what's inside it, it just did not seem like it was going to have the storage necessary to be able to handle all the fucking, every digital game you get and save files. And so it's just like, I'm curious to see how big of this cartridge will be. Because you're right. I mean, flash memory is like hella cheap. So, yeah. Like, will it be able to hold a gig, 2 gigs, 10 gigs? It could be exactly like how the memory cards were back in the PS2 era, where, you get like maybe 20 gigs of memory. And you'll have to hold on to your cartridge. And you might be able to actually save actual games onto your cartridge this time. So it won't be just save files. You may be able to put your actual game on there. So like if you have like a brand new digital game that you bought, you could probably save it on there, and then you could take that cartridge on the go instead of have to take your actual console, and then you can just take it to a friend's house, put the cartridge in. You'll probably have to log into your PSN on there and then be able to extract it. See, this is the shit I'd be thinking about when I saw that cartridge, because it's just like, you want to know why? Because I used to do that shit back in the day with the Xbox 360. I used to take out that hard drive that was on it, and I would take it to another person's house. And when they have the Xbox, I would just switch mines, do that, connect it online, bada bing, bada boom. Or if I didn't want to take it with me, I could just get my profile onto their console and then just download and do it like that. Or, it's just very interesting thinking about it. But ultimately, it's going exactly as I said. I was worried about storage. Storage is going to be a problem. But now they seem to have a solution. But the question is, how much is this solution going to be? How big is the storage going to be? And, is the cartridge just going to be a, basic bitch cartridge? Or will it be something special? I want it to be something motherfucking special. I want them to do what the Dreamcast did and have, the cartridge be able to play little mini games on there, But who knows?
I got a Nintendo 64 cartridge I can just see this going into this little Nintendo PlayStation system. And it's I'm not going to lie. If they kind of do something like this, it's going to be kind of nostalgic and cool to kind of do. And shit, I might still have a cool job to have. I mean, this is pristine, condition. This is I'm holding up a Super Mario 64 game that was given to me. I paid $0 for it. I was so lucky. Someone's like, "Do you just want these games?" Yeah. Let's look up.
Well, I
think the PlayStation 4 library is getting better, which means PS4 and PS3 games are getting cheaper. So I'm happy about that. So I can start playing those games. I'm finally getting to a point where I'll be able to play more games. So
yeah, but
hopefully within a couple months or something like that.
You can play Spider-Man now.
Oh, Spider-Man's on sale for Black Friday. I'll definitely get it. I'll be in Vegas.
You can gamble for it.
I don't gamble.
That's the problem. You need to gamble. So yeah, folks, be on the lookout. I'm putting it out there right now. I think the cartridges will just be, like Gamer Composer said, they're going to be for the nostalgic value. You'll be able to take the cartridge around, I think you'll be able to put actual games on the cartridge and take that with you. And if your friend has a PS5, you can put that in and then you'll be able to retrieve the game and be able to play it on there. But you'll also have to log in with your profile and do it like that as well. But I think the game cartridge is a great idea. I know for a fact it's going to take care of the storage problem with the PS5. And let's face it, there is going to be a storage problem with the PS5. With the SSD. But I felt like that was...
Why do you think that?
Have you seen SSDs lately? I mean, the highest they can go is about a terabyte. And you have to look at how big games are when you download it. Some end up being 100 gigs. And that's on a basic level. Some end up being 150 to 200. And that's including all DLCs and stuff. And the fact that it seems like companies aren't really rendering the actual file to try to make it easier for storage. It just seems like the more graphical a game's going to get, the more it's going to be needed to download it. Then you got the patches on patches. Then you got the DLC. And then definitely if you want to go digital, it's just going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. It may not happen right away, but it's going to happen soon. So that's why I say I was a little worried on the storage, but hey, we got the cartridge, so hip hip hooray,
Hip hip.
Can you dig
Hip
it?
hip.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
We can. So, all right, let's move on to BioWare.
Hey, how you doing, Bio?
Yo, we got to play the victory music. And Anthem is not dead. It's going for a complete overhaul. So for all the many of YouTubers that have posted that Anthem was dead, and I myself, I never even posted it myself, and I've talked shit about Anthem. I never thought it was dead. I just thought it was done. But
Finito.
But it's not dead. EA is not walking over the corpse. In fact, they're actually coming back. They're coming to resuscitate it. And they're going to resuscitate it with Anthem 2.0 or Anthem Next. I don't know how I feel about the name Anthem Next or 2.0.
Me neither.
But, pretty much
they need to call it something else.
They need to call it Anthem We're Sorry Edition Arcade. Anthem We're Sorry Arcade Edition version 2022, because that's what I think is coming out. Oh, I'm sorry. Arcade Edition We're Sorry That We Fucked Up Champion Edition version 2022.
Champion
Edition. Champion. All right. So, anyways, though, they're talking about from what Jason Schneider kind of reported, EA is going to do a complete overhaul with this game. They're looking for it to be like, a big change like No Man's Sky or like the Taken King from Destiny. They don't know right now if it's going to be like just a one huge update or if they're just going to make a brand new game and just do it on disc and sell it that way. Hopefully they make a really huge update, but I think that's going to be a lot for storage capabilities, which we were just talking about earlier. So maybe it might be better just to do a brand new game. And from what it seems, it looks like the Austin branch of BioWare will be taking full control of this project. So for those that do not remember, because I know this was something that came out in April, there was the interview there was the article that Jason Schneider did once again, where he talks about the problems that happened with Anthem itself. And if you remember back in the article, there was a part in the article where it kind of mentions A team and B team within BioWare's branch. The Edmonton was the A team, Austin was the B team. Edmonton really didn't listen to a lot of the criticisms and stuff that the Austin branch kind of found within the game. And Edmonton really just kind of sent majority of their work for the Austin branch to work on. And they were kind of treated as second-class citizens. And they were treated as like they had no idea what they were doing. Like, yo, man, don't question the Edmonton vision, the vision. And, it just made it seem like they were second-class citizens. So I find it very ironic that the Austin branch is now finally getting their revenge and taking full control of Anthem. And they're going to be like, bruh, why should we make this motherfucking game 20 times better than you bitches? And I want that shit to happen. I want the Austin branch to be like, all right, guys, we did it. We've gone go. We made an amazing game that works. And I just want them to pop the fuck off. That's what I want.
They're going to do it because didn't they do Star Wars The Old Republic?
Oh, Lord. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Yes, they did.
Yes, they done did. So it's going to be quite impressive to see what is going down. But yes, BioWare Austin once again will be taking control of this game. And it is going to be exciting to see what they do. And I'm really curious to see what happens. Although I believe, still look forward to Dragon Age 4. I don't know who's doing it. I think the Edmonton branch is doing that. But yeah, I just want to mention that. I think that's just amazing. The article will be in the show notes, so you can read both. But yeah, right now the overhaul is going to be pretty much on everything. It's going to be on the loot. It's going to be on the quest. It's going to be on the social aspects of the game, the fucking difficulty, the progression system, the world map. Pretty much, it's literally looking like it's going to be the entire game's infrastructure. Pretty much almost the entire game. So I don't know what the fuck they're going to keep basic, but yeah, this is huge. So Gamer Composer, how do you feel about this, man?
Like I said, it's going to be, I think it's going to be better.
Ooh,
I don't think that they have a opportunity to fuck up now. They learned from their mistakes. Unfortunately, it was a big flop, but it is what it is.
I can't wait for the pop off. All I want to hear from Austin Branch is, look at what we did. We did it better than you.
They're gonna be, yeah.
Yo, man, people are gonna be like, that Anthem is such an amazing game now, right? Right?
That's my girl. Shout out to Ikumi. Woo!
Yeah, I'm gonna stop it right there. All right, so
Breaking news!
for those that are not aware of Sonic the Hedgehog's movie coming out, I want to mention real quick that Yuji Naka wants to keep the original Sonic design that from the Sonic movie trailer. It'll be included with the DVD Blu-ray edition of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, which is coming out February 14th of 2020. So for those that have not seen the new trailer, Sonic he really got the glow up, man. Like, it wasn't even a glow up. It was a blow up. No, it wasn't even a blow up. It was just, I don't know what to call it. It was just fucking incredible. What a huge recovery on the looks of that entire Sonic project. But if you were a fan of the original kind of scary Sonic, don't worry, you'll still be able to see him in the DVD Blu-ray version. I'm actually quite curious. So like when I get it, I want to see which one would be better to look at. Like I want to see how the actors. I feel like the actors probably might have done some different. I feel like the jokes would be weird. I don't know. I found that funny. I wanted to talk about that, and I'm really excited for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie now because of the new trailer. What about you, Gamer Composer?
I like the new trailer a lot more than whatever the fuck they were trying to put out on my birthday. And yeah, I know you're a bigger Sonic fan.
Oh,
yeah. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Remix. Oh no, I didn't mean to press that one.
Oh, now we're doing a real one.
You're right. You're definitely right. I definitely love me some Sonic, some Sonic.
Scenic.
There's also been talks that supposedly Shadow the Hedgehog might be in this movie. I highly doubt that. That Shadow the Hedgehog could be in this movie?
Don't doubt it at all.
Shadow the fucking Hedgehog.
They already made Sonic the Hedgehog, so the prototype is done. They got it right. Put a fucking color scheme on him and he's done. The fuck? What are you thinking about?
Well, Shadow and Sonic kind of look different. That's a huge difference. That's a huge difference.
I gotta pull your card on this one and be like, "Are you a fan?" That's what the message you got from the other podcast, right?
I deserve that. That definitely is on me on that one. I was expecting Tails to probably pop up in this movie. If Shadow the Hedgehog pops up, I am going to fucking yell in the theater like Black Panther.
I wish
dying.
I could see it with you. I wish I could.
I know one thing for a fact. I'm looking for a date for February 14, 2020. So
he's putting it out there, folks.
Hold on. So let me get a little personal. Let's see if I got the.
Oh, dun, dun.
So for all my beautiful lady gamers out there, or for any guys that have any lady friends that they can introduce me to. I'm looking for someone cute, you know what I'm saying? Well, actually, cute's in my opinion. I'm looking for someone that's really down to earth, very chill. She's also got to be a Sonic fan. Maybe a little bit of the Thomas the Tank Engine. But, she's got to be a Sonic fan. I want to take her out. I want to take her on a nice little dinner. I want to take her to a nice little, trip around the city of the shot. And then basically we're going to go end the night, do that nightcap at the theater, go watch the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. You know what I'm saying? We'll get nice little drinks. Maybe some nachos or some Doritos or Cheetos. And then, you know what I'm saying, we go ahead and watch the Blue Hedgehog do his thing, man. So, if you got that little, significant, beautiful lady for me, go ahead and do it. By the way, hold on. Let me stop the music. She's got to at least be 25 or older.
Ha!
I ain't doing no
more. Like, you just turned it. You just had a birthday last month, so more. It should be like 27.
You're right.
25.
26 or over.
There you go.
So yeah, and then also quick notice, real fact. There was a Sonic the Hedgehog unreleased version of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 found after surviving development hell. This was reported by Luke Plunkett. There is a emulator that has. There's a code that's available. So if you have an emulator and you have Sonic the Hedgehog 3. You can use this code to be able to access like different levels and different changes and stuff. So
Wait, so if you have the game already, or you have the emulator, I don't know.
if you have an emulator that has the game and you have the code, you can use the code on that emulator to access that part of the game.
Damn.
So you'll be able to try like a slightly new version of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And
that's crazy.
Yeah. I went and go ahead and downloaded it before, because Kotaku has that wonderful job of reporting stuff that should really just be on the download. And when people find out, companies are going to find out and then quickly take that shit down. So, but it's cool. I guess it is what it is. So
it is what it is.
Pretty much. And then last but not least, for my wonderful people out there, first of all, I would like to say to Lad Bible, ladbible.com, I would like to say this headline that you guys had. I don't know, man. Like, this was definitely a 100% clickbait headline that was put on. 100% clickbait. I mean, you could have did anything else, and it probably would have been a better choice than what you did, but I get it. So this thing kind of popped around Twitter, due to the release of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order being released. And a lot of people were commenting on Twitter talking about, once again, why wasn't there a female? Like, why did it have to be the person? Why did it have to be some, I guess what people were saying on Twitter, why did it have to be a white guy, right?
Word.
So because of this article, a lot of people just assume that, and I'll read what it is, and I'll also put in the show notes. But the title says, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order doesn't have a female protagonist because of Rey. So already the title kind of makes it seem like they didn't want to have a woman because there's already a star woman. So, of course, that offended people, especially during the release. But it come to find out that, the person who did it was a Julian Benson. He got to that conclusion based off an interview that was done in Game Informer on their video podcast back in July 3rd of 2019. So I'll go ahead and just give a quick synopsis of it. Pretty much it's like the last question, and it was so the question was basically asked to Stig Asumen, who was the game director that was interviewed by Leo Vader and Andrew Reiner. And pretty much, I think it's like 26 minutes, 13 seconds into the video, so pretty much close to the end, a fan had asked, Leo and Andrew the question, why, the question was, did they think about doing a non-human character? If so, who would they have done? And Stig basically answered, they had thought about doing they thought about doing a non-human character. And they thought about doing an alien. But the reason why they didn't choose to go with an alien is because they thought it would alienate a lot of people. And I shit you not, he said it would alienate a lot of people. I actually paused it.
You could edit that in so that people can actually hear that. I'm sure you could just download that and edit it.
Yeah, I could.
Rossful wants to know if you ever considered doing a non-human character for this story. Early on or anything, did you have an alien that, he says here, moves like Sonic or Yoda?
No, but that sounds like fun.
Cool.
We looked at, yes, we talked about doing an alien creature. We talked about different gender. We arrived at where we were because at the time, Rey was kind of the thing for Star Wars. And so it made a lot more sense for us to have a male protagonist. And ultimately we didn't go with the alien race because we felt like, no pun intended, that would alienate a lot of people. We wanted to make sure that like there was a real human connection to the character that we have in the game. Although I personally, that's like kind of more the like kind of like broader decision why we did it. Personally, I think it would be really cool to have an alien protagonist.
But I just found that funny. he thought it would alienate a lot of people. That was hilarious as fuck. And then he goes on to say that they wanted a human connection because of Rey. So they wanted a human connection because of Rey.
Okay.
So through their process, and I say through their process, they arrived at Cal Kaisis. So through the process of them trying to choose which human character they wanted, they chose, a white male. So
there it is, folks.
Yeah. So it's just like when I went and actually did the research, I was like, yo, this is still kind of bad because it's just like, but I mean, granted, Stig admitted that he wanted to do an alien, but how the decision went through and ended up being a white guy. So like, I get people's like frustration of like, yo, it's another white guy. Even I said the same thing, man. Why is it another white guy? You could have been an alien or something, but they literally thought
saying, why not another white guy? You should ask yourself, do you really want to ask that question right now?
Why not another white guy? I was always curious because I think when I first saw the trailer, I was like, yo, it's another white guy. They couldn't just get another, like, there's so many other characters that you can grab. And I also find it funny too, because this also brought up something that someone mentioned in the Mandalorian, which is now out on Disney Plus. So, and I don't mean to do a plug-in for Disney Plus, but people have gone batshit crazy for now learning about Yoda's race, and we got to meet a baby version of Yoda. And it's just crazy because now people are just like, oh my God, it's just a brand new race, and we're learning about different cultures and stuff from the Mandalorian, and people are falling in love with that shit. So it just kind of seems like their decision making on that front was just like, really? I don't know. You didn't want to alienate your audience, but the Star Wars community is like fucking eating up Baby Yoda. That's not Yoda. I just found that crazy. What do you think, Gamer Composer?
I mean, people need to just stop tripping about race, period. Like, it's getting old. Personally, I think it's just getting old. So just fucking chill out. That's all I got to say about it.
Oh man,
like,
just
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to. I'm tired of seeing the same thing, but y'all need to like get a little bit more experimentative. It's about to be damn near 2020. This is not 2010. This is not 2000. This is about to be 2020 in less than a month. It'll be December, and then boom, January 2020. Act like it's the fucking future, bitches.
Well, apparently in the future or in a galaxy far, far away, there's just a lot of white people. So.
If you don't like it, make your own shit.
Yeah, that's you know what's funny? That's what people on Twitter say. And then I just be like, yo, there are people that are making their stuff, but then y'all don't want to support it because you're like, well, I don't know what this is, or who is this person? And then I'd be like, oh my gosh. So it's like when someone does it, you don't know what it is and you don't trust it, but then you want it here, but then the people there just aren't, like, they don't hire. Come on, man. Like, let's think about it. In the gaming industry, you already know what type of demographic is basically in those offices, man. So you can't really be surprised. All I could basically say was, just use your imagination, pretend it's you. Goodness knows, I've been doing it for years. How many fucking games have that many black men as the main character in a video game? That's not a sports game. Yeah, that's not a sports game. So, but I just found it funny.
I mean, there was a list that I used to have when I was trying to collect them, but it's not that much that you can just. I want to say Starhawks and Mass Effect. Usually people kind of count that, but it's like,
I don't count that because originally you're a white guy. You can customize your character, but
damn,
and man, it's cool.
Sounding like a TIT is.
Look, I have no problem with it. I still want to play Fallen Order. It's just, I found it funny that thread on Twitter was blowing up because of an interview on July. And it seemed like a lot of people didn't read the fucking actual article and then go look at the video. I mean, granted, it's just as bad, but it's not as bad as saying like, yo, they didn't want any female. They just arrived at the decision of it being a white guy. So
yeah,
it's more frustrating at the fact that we didn't get a new alien race to be able to, or an alien race that already existed, but we get to learn more about. I would have loved that, but yeah. At the same time, yo, man, I need to check out The Mandalorian, so I'm behind on the time. I got Disney Plus and I still haven't watched it, but I don't feel like waiting a week, so I'm just gonna wait till it all airs, and then I'll just binge watch it. That's the whole point of getting these apps, people. You wants to binge watch, all right? Binge watching is cool. I don't like waiting a week. If I want to wait a week for TV, I'll actually have a TV. Oh wait, I do.
Hot damn.
You know, shit. And then I believe that is about it, man. Unless you want to go a little bit. You got anything else you want to drop off? Talk about?
Okay, so maybe.
Are you going to talk about what we talked about? Off air?
Oh, like not giving a shit about EA and feeling bad for them for.
No, about how hard it is for you to get jobs or for people to give chances on new content and stuff because, you know, people are looking for a certain type.
Yeah, so
like I'll say it if you want me to. I just didn't want to. I just want to see if you were approved before I say it.
I just want to kind of just say something. It's going to keep it brief. And you've changed my perspective of it, so I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
With that. But not change my perspective, but you helped me see a broader perspective. But typically, people seem to forget that sexuality is not a race and should not be deemed as a contention between other races or ethnicities or backgrounds. In fact, it's unproportionate and it's unfair. I understand that it's discriminatory, but I mean, I don't see people getting lynched, or I don't see LGBTQ getting lynched or not being served food. I mean, like, now get me wrong, don't have to say it probably is not happening. I hope to God it's not. But on the massive scale where this shit was like publicly known, where everybody, this is almost like this is almost common knowledge. Whereas in like these races, you know, you look at the Holocaust with Jewish people, you look at the Africans being brought over to slavery and other people that have been in slavery, like Irish people in different countries and things of that nature, the Japanese being in internment camps. These are the things that have impacted people through generations of race. And now it's come to the point where it's just like, well, you just can't get married. And really religious people just shun you and they shut you out. But I haven't seen any LGBTQ internment camps, so I haven't seen any lynching, and I haven't heard about it. And I haven't heard about kidnappings on a massive scale, and I haven't heard about, you know, holocausts for LGBTQ, which is practically, I think, what's in Watchmen. We haven't seen that, and with our society, you would know, and we all have phones, so we can all broadcast. Now we can take videos, we can stream, we can take pictures. Now we can broadcast from our fucking phone. We would know, and we would know very fast. And I don't see that happening. So the fact of where people put it on that pedestal for putting it against jobs like, oh, well, we're only looking for these type of things with these experiences, but we're skipping over Hispanic discrimination, we're skipping over African descent discrimination, or Islander discrimination, or Asian discrimination of jobs that people have been passed up for centuries.
Correct.
Your sexuality, I'm sorry, shouldn't take precedent. Your sexuality is really your private life.
Correct.
And really I get that you want to build a community to kind of express these things and bring it to light, but my personal feelings about it being on the scale, whereas in people get up in your face about it, is really disheartening. I'm okay, and I'm supporting what you want to do, but I don't parade that I love to have sex with women, and that people are looking for composers of a specific genre, shape, form to write music or get jobs for these type of things, and that like we have to learn to work together. We should learn how to work different togetherness and things like that, or we won't have Fallen Order games with aliens and stuff because we don't even know how to deal with these things. And it's sad. It's like it's sad because like we can't even deal with. There are things on the horizon like AI and them being sentient, and aliens haven't visited us, and that would be a whole nother. There'd be alien rights, there'd be AI rights. If we were mutants, if humans had actually evolved, if we're too damn stupid and lazy so we can't even fly or have like powers to even mutate, there would be mutant rights. Those 3 different things that could be possible in our world, and it is slightly possible. There are type of mutant things like that, but you don't see things like looking for people who are mutants to have jobs. Like it would just, it's just getting ridiculous. And again, I keep saying it's about to be 2020. Let's fucking act like it. Let's all try to work together we're human beings. Like I remember B said it best in the fucking X-Men thing on the Animated Cities. It's like, if you prick us, do we not bleed? It's like if you had vertigo like type of disease on your arm or on your skin or your body, like just like Michael Jackson and the other people, you will find out that guess what? We are all the same pigmentation color. Some of us have a little bit stronger melatonin, some of us born a little bit differently. The DNA in our bodies shape our faces and our teeth and our hair, but that's the only delineation that we have. Other than that, sure, we speak different languages, but we speak nonetheless. Sure, we find languages through music, we find languages through sign language, we find ways to communicate. Last time I checked, no human can fly, so it's like everybody's pretty much equal.
Yes.
If nothing else. And so I'm just saying, all I'm saying is like, let's just tone it down a bit. I remember just a small anecdote before I wrap it up. There was someone that I was trying to connect with during a convention, and it was online for things, and they were saying that it was a game developer. And I was like, oh, I'll be happy to chat with you about stuff. The first thing I asked was like, are you queer? So I was like, so what if I like talk to that person like in person and say like, oh, I'd like to connect with you, like, and they didn't even have the balls to say it to me like to that, like, are you queer? What if they just looked at my, the skin color thing I have, or maybe I had vertigo skin conditions, so I'm both, right? I have pigmentation of some brown, but some peach in my skin, and they were just like, so what are you? Like, because I'm only looking for people with experiences who are queer or who are of. How do you even know? Like, I may not be African American, I may be Asian American. It's like I'm only looking for experiences people who have walked through a wall. It's like, come on, like, are we? Is it getting down to experience people that you want to connect with? If that's the case, you're kind of shutting yourself out from the world. Everybody has an experience or a vice or a kink or a pleasure that they like. But as humans, something that connects us all, we all are sexual creatures. Even the animals are sexual creatures.
Correct.
Even the insects are sexual creatures. They breed somehow. So Earth breeds. Period. It's done. Why do I have to be discriminated against for a job at this point? Only looking for people who like insects, and you gotta be gay. What the fuck? Like, it's coming to that, and it's like it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. Like, now we're gonna have a whole community of just like, well, you gotta be gay, but you had to be a heterosexual at 16, and you gotta like spiders. It's like, well, fuck. Like I guess I'm out of a job because I'm terrified of spiders. I have arachnophobia, and I became like lesbian at 18. I don't even fit the criteria. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, let's just chill out with that whole like. If I get you want to build a community to raise awareness, but it shouldn't be discriminatory against jobs. I think everybody should learn together, no matter what your sexuality is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and as me and Gamer Composer talked about this before, and I did raise the awareness. The problem isn't really the problem is the people. It's the person that's doing the job, the person that is creating that gatekeeping experience, or like the person that allows that atmosphere to build in their company or community, because it's really goes down to the fact of you continue to see yourself separate, and you do go through experiences from other people that have shown you that, oh, I'm going to assume that that person will continue to act that way when that's actually not the case. And it's one of the craziest and hardest things for us humans to do, and that is to continue giving a chance and to continue having the benefit of the doubt. Like, some people have a really hard time of just understanding that your situation can be similar to another situation, but it does not have to relate to that situation that you're going through. Like, right. For example, a person who wants to come out is having a hard time expressing that can also be compared to a person who is African and he wants to come out and express his love for his culture, but at a time there was a community that was just like, yo, you're African? Oh man, fuck that shit. Oh, you're not American. Yo, I'll come and beat your ass and, you know, fuck you up and stuff like that. So it's like situations can merge and compare, but it's just a lot of people, because of that, you know, those few bad experiences, they don't want to try and give that a chance because they're like, well, I'm so used to getting hurt. And it is hard for people to continue going through with that. Like, it's all really just a person thing. And I feel like at this point, everyone in this damn country, in this world, kind of needs therapy. I know myself included. That's one of the reasons why I kind of saw it the way I did. Because, like, I know Gamer Composer was kind of confused at it at first. But then I kind of showed them, like, you know, it's not that they want to purposely do that. It's just that's who they are comfortable with. And when you're so used to being oppressed and told not to do something for so many, you know, for so long, and now you finally get a chance to express yourself. But when you express yourself, like, a certain type of people kind of just be like, nah, fuck you for being that way. You know, then it kind of makes sense why they only want to be with each other. So,
right.
But it's not everybody. It's just a few people. But it's hard for you to be like, man, can I trust this motherfucker over here versus that motherfucker when those same type of motherfuckers over here treated me this way? And I'm like, you know, it's tough, but that's just something that they have to develop. That's something they have to learn. But what you have to do is you just have to continue doing you and just accept. But it's not like no one anywhere hates, because, you know, it's your business or your business. I don't give no fuck. As long as you ain't fuck with my shit and you fucking my person, you know, my way of living, and you're not trying to actively fuck up my life or trying to kill me, I think you should be able to do what you want to do. Just don't come into my territory, and I won't come into yours. And I leave it simple as that. I treat all those the way you want to be treated. Just let me know, and I got you. Simple as that. But I feel like for a lot of these jobs, I feel like it's dumb as hell that you do not want to hire somebody because they may not be the same type as you. That is dumb as hell, because you're missing out on a wonderful experience that you'll definitely need somewhere down the line.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could, if you're looking for experience, I mean, there's so many of the sexual people out there. Like, I would have to, if let's just say, if we encapsulate all the United States, right? I would bet money that there's probably at least, if we take the entire population of the United States, that at least half are within, like, LGBTQ community. Meaning there's not a lot of heterosexuals out there, right? I'm willing to bet that's including people who haven't come out and the people who have come out, right? It's equal across the board, meaning, like, that's what exists. The ones who haven't come out and the ones who have. At least half of the population is that. So you've got a community, like, in your backyard. You've got it wherever. It doesn't matter, because guess what? It's not like you were looking for an alien within, like, I'm looking for a human alien, someone who's actually an alien, but they pulled a Men in Black, and it's really hard to find, and I want to know what it's like, what music sounds like outside of Earth. Then I could be like, well, fuck, like, there's a disadvantage, and now we might have a little issue. And that's on a whole nother scale, right? But it's not that at all. It's like, yo, you just like to have sex this way with these type of people, or whatever the fucking case is. And it doesn't take away from the human nature of having your feelings hurt, having you not being wanted. It doesn't take away from I mean, that shit still exists based whatever your sexuality is. You still cry, you still feel happy, you still feel pleasure, ecstasy, you still feel brokenhearted, you still feel depression. So what the fuck?
You
and
definitely
guess what? If you're working with other people of a different skin tone, you're gonna have people that have like discrimination, like who felt that in the sense like that. But that only go. And if the other thing is like, you don't have to be gay to experience discrimination. You don't.
You don't. Not really.
You really don't. You have so many other ethnicities out there that have experienced, and people who have experienced discrimination based. That's why I said, like, if it's going off of experience of whatever you're looking for, rather than your sexuality, let's go off of experience, right? Let's not go off of looking for a queer, or, you know, or LGBTQ plus type of person to have these jobs. Like, again, I get that you want the community, but you have a community, and the rights are not as the process of being accepted is happening faster than I've ever seen it happen for any other in history. Right? There are people who still hate when Nazis, right, like would say these type of things, like they hate like an amalgamation of people. They hate Jews, they hate African Americans, they hate gays, they hate whatever. Like it's like a whole bunch of things, but they just won't hate for what they don't understand. But like in states, you can still have marriage, you know, laws. You can go here and, you know, you have opportunities. You can walk down the street. You're not going to get a brick to your face. You know, you're not going to get snatched up. You're not going to get rounded up. And it's, you can, and you have a job.
That's
People
true.
are, who have been, and they're in powerful positions. They're producers. They're, you know, managers. They are executives. They're on the upper echelon. So it's like, it doesn't look, it sounds worse than it seems. And I think things are being blown out of proportion. So all I'm saying is just, let's scale it back a little bit. And let's not try to just make more segregating things. And let's try to work together as a community to work with other people through the experiences versus in a sexuality. That's all I'm saying. I don't care what you want to do. I don't care if you want to have sex with roller coasters that don't even work in an amusement park anymore, which is someone I know that's done that in the world and put that on video. But I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't care. Do what you want to do. Have fun. Be yourself. But like, let's just not separate us from things for other people that are probably equally experienced with those feelings and those emotions that could just do the job just as well. It's one thing to connect with people that you want to, you know, kind of work with and stuff, but it doesn't mean that this should be based off of their sexuality to do that.
Correct.
That's all I'm saying.
Or race, because I know
or race for that matter. Yeah, I mean, I can't control people either way, but I feel like it's easier to say like the sexuality thing just kind of seems ridiculous to be like, yo, you gotta be queer to get this job. What?
Well,
that's like reverse racism.
It is, but at the same time, like I said, man, like they're used to being like the LGBTQ is also used to being oppressed, and they've been oppressed for so long that now that they finally got a voice and they got opportunities to create their own spaces and actually make money for it, and people support it, they kind of just want to have people there that just makes it comfortable for them to work. And you know that, like I said, people just have a hard time. It's the trusting thing. Like I know sometimes I have it, you have it sometimes when you work with other people you don't know. But you know, it's at that point, you know, like we all gotta give each other a chance. But it takes a lot.
Yes.
It takes a lot to give a person a chance. And
more than others.
And it's very easy to destroy trust than it is to build it.
Oh yeah, it's true.
So that's the main reason.
But you get better at that when you put yourself in the lion's den.
Exactly. You get more comfortable. You're able to really see like who's going to be the beast and who's going to like it just becomes easier doing it. But that's just with everything. But the problem is right now is like everyone is now starting to get comfortable with themselves to be able to express themselves and to be able to create work with people that understand them as well. And then it just just makes it harder for that. That's all.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know. It's just interesting. Like I have some gay friends, and you know, I even got a couple gay family members and things of that nature, and they agree with me. And I got people that support the community that are heterosexual, male and female alike, and they agree with me too. I'm like I said, I'm not trying to cajole. I'm just trying to raise the awareness about it, because it just seems like it's just being blown out of proportion. It's just
I agree.
Pretty hyperbolic.
And what's crazy is that, like, for people that do that, they don't understand the situation of, I'm pretty sure you've been in that same situation for your sexuality or for being who you want to be.
Yeah.
And yet now you're in a position of power and you're repeating the same philosophies that were taking advantage of you. Like,
right. Stores with, you know, that said whites only, colors only. It's like they have to be going into those stores, and now you're pushing like looking for this type of. I mean, you're not saying like this only applies, but like I get just to talk to somebody about a possible thing. They asked me straight up what it is. They didn't even like inquire about anything, and was about to shut me out until I said like, oh well, I was like, I'm looking for this person because they have this experience, and I was like, I'm actually Bayesian American. They were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Can we restart the conversation? You look like a fucking idiot now.
But see,
and now I really don't want to talk to you.
But see, they don't know that.
Once
again, it's like people just don't know that. And we're at this point now where we're all getting into it. Everyone's starting to get into a position of power. It would be nice if there were more different people or groups of people in positions of power. But when those people get into that power, they don't really think in that logic of, you know what, let me use my platform or opportunity to make it easier for other people to come in, build something, and then help them.
What's crazy, you want to know another anecdote? Is like, so switching to the whole women's side of it, is apparently at Oculus Connect this year, there was an organizer where there was a person of color that, there was more, I think she was a minority American, but she had a diversity group, and they had a lunch, and everybody went in the diversity type thing, and non-diversity were inquiring about this lunch, but because she had stepped down, it didn't exist. But this other woman who looked like mostly the majority American, put this thing on, and she had like just women there. It was so, instead of including everybody under this umbrella for that is involved with diversity. Right, the umbrella of diversity is super large, right? Because if you include diversity, you're including everybody. Diversity, what's cool about that is like it's any background, anything that goes on. It's supposed to include everything underneath that. It's of equal opportunity. But then if you have this thing here, and it's just like, well, this person's in charge now, and then she just did like a women's luncheon. Diversity doesn't know about sex. Diversity doesn't know about race. Diversity doesn't know about, you know, disorders. You could be whatever. So, but when you have a women's luncheon, if I'm not a woman, like,
yeah, you can't go.
No, I can't. Now I was like, why are you here? This is a women's luncheon. And I like women.
And then you're kind of seen as sexist.
Women like,
yeah, women like women. But yo, man, I'm just saying though. But that's unfortunately how it is, especially in the gaming industry. All right, we already discussed this, man. What's the majority of the people in these offices and positions of power and making games? It is mostly a majority American.
Word.
It ain't us. It ain't no minority American. Hell, and it's barely even women. At this point, you might as well include women in the minority American part for this industry. For this industry. And that's what sucks. And it sucks that, you know, you're being, you know, gatekeeped for just being who you are. And then what's crazy is we still have problems within our own community as well. Because, sometimes some, minority Americans that look like us, they be like, I don't know you, brother. Like, what you doing, man? And then they, because you talked about that shit with the Black Soul thing. And I would figure it's like, yo, that'd be a perfect opportunity. It's not like, yo, man, why are you doing this, man? Why are you promoting this as your thing? You could have just been like, it could have just been oh, okay, for sure. I see that you showing interest. You kind of like it, and what you did was kind of nice. No, let me try you out a bit. Once again, but at the same time, you got to remember, when people get into positions of power, they don't realize that how much control of stuff they have and how much influence, and like, you have to learn that stuff. That's stuff you have to experience. That stuff you have to research and read. Like, yo, like if when I got serious to trying to do this podcast shit, I read so much about fucking business and fucking people and fucking the industry itself that I eventually realized, like, yo, if this thing ever blew up into a position of power, there are so many fucking people I want to hire in this motherfucker. Like, so many different types of people I want to hire. Hell, to this point, I know Lauren is super busy, or Laura Brioche, but I still want a woman on my podcast, because it's just like, I like the female voice. I like the female opinion, because I want that shit to be on there, because I'm curious to hear what they say. That they're fucking half of the industry. And at the same time, it's cool to have somebody to bounce an idea off of. It'd be like, yo, is this really how we all should be thinking? Or like, yo, like, let's kind of put this shit on the table. But once again, not many people are going to be on that comfortable boat, and people don't think like that, or people don't like that challenge of trying to be in that uncomfortable position. People are not used or being learned about being uncomfortable to get comfortable. Like, that stuff. Hell, we learned that shit in grammar school. Let's be honest with it. When we had to do presentations and shit that we really didn't want to have to do, but our teachers and stuff forced us to do, they basically taught us the same thing. You gotta, in life, you gotta learn to be uncomfortable to get comfortable, because then you'll be able to experience more and be able to do more.
Grow as a human being.
But now that's not the case.
If you don't want to grow as a human being, if you want to just stay in your bubble, that's fine too. But you don't really get a say then when to talk about those topics when they do come about.
Exactly.
You have to shut your mouth.
And then we'll just say it here before we'll just wrap it up with this. It just sucks that you're going through it. I know I'm going through it. Other people kind of going through it. We're getting to the point now where people are hopping on and doing these things that they love to do. And you got to realize that you have to interact with people, but they don't want to interact with people, or they're scared to interact with people. Damn. You can't have the success. You can't want to work in a business where you're trying to create and entertain people and not be prepared to be around people. Now, granted, I'm not a huge social media person, but if I go to an event, I'm going to talk and chat and chill, and, that's where I get into my zone. I'm not into the whole social media thing, because I don't like fucking typing and you can't understand my words. I can't explain to you my words when I'm typing, and you barely understand it, because I'm really bad at my grammar. But that's because I'm not a grammar person. I'm a math person. But at the end of the day, it's just getting to that point where it's just like, I understand everybody wants to be in their own comfort zone. Everybody wants to be able to attract people that understand who they are and who they are as a person. They want to create that community within people that kind of get them, and then build from that. But you got to remember, man, there are other people out there. There's other people that you can interact with and meet. And this is a great way of bettering yourself as a person and growing as a person by interacting with other people. And you're missing out also on a lot of people that can be just as interested in your work and add to your work. And you're doing all that by gatekeeping. Stop gatekeeping. Give people a chance, man.
Give people a fighting chance.
Honestly, yeah, but, fuck it. But what the fuck do we know, right? Hell, that's what I'm saying. The gaming industry is so much a fucking reflection of life. It's probably like the greatest one. Because out of all the fucking industries, this is probably the one that's like still stuck in the dark ages of like what it is. Still. Like, the music industry is not like that. It's just more, we're not paying you enough. Movie industry is not like that. They're just more, we want to just get as much money as possible. Yep. The end.
It's still a little bit like that, but not as much.
Nah, because they realize the money behind it. So it's just like, they don't want to ignore it. They're just like, this type of movie could make a lot of money, because there are.
That's true. It's slowly changing though, but it's like, you showed me the thing about like Brass Lion.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyways.
Hopefully gamers will see the connection one day. Hopefully people will see the connection. A lot of this shit is just, it all fucking connects, but everyone likes to see it in fucking different boxes. So, alright man, it's that time of the show where we gotta say goodbye. Fucking dropping this knowledge. Most of y'all probably won't even understand it. You'll probably just assume Gamer Composer doesn't like the LGBTQ community, and you'll probably think I'm racist as fuck. But
that's probably what you'll get out of it.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Because people don't really.
But as many times as I say it, like,
you know, people don't really. Come on, man. Shameless plug-in time. All right, go ahead.
Twitch.tv/GamerComposer. Instagram is @GamerComposer. Twitter @ChaseBethia. Been streaming. Going to be making lots of music this week. Getting into some things. Getting into a lot of some tracker music for Game Boy. Some orchestral type of music. Some tribal type of music. I finished an electronic thing. Efocutioner's been hanging out. Shout out to you, man, in the chat. And yeah, just give us a chance. Listen to us.
I don't know what the fuck.
Listen to us.
Bro, I be dropping some knowledge on my stream, and then people just like, I tell you, I'm so glad certain people don't listen to when I talk on my streams, but the Chronicles of Gamers, I'm on YouTube, SoundCloud, Acast. Well, not Acast anymore. YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher. We're also on Twitch. I'm sorry I've not been streaming as much. I've been basically trying to get this social media promotion thing that I'm trying to get done, because I'm trying to be able to post stuff on Twitter and Instagram. So that way when I do certain stuff on Twitch, it'll be like, you know, easy for me to post it and be like, bam, come check me out. Bam, come check me out. Come do it now. Now, come do it now. So, yeah. And then also, I have been working on another Let's Play, but I've been working on something for YouTube, and I have been working on videos for YouTube. Oh, by the way, I have a Ruby podcast.
Yeah.
Which is, you know what's crazy is that discussion that Gamer Composer went up on kind of was like originally sparked because someone had told me that because I'm not super excited for two characters being into each other. And I'm like, I am, but it's just like, I don't know how much happy you want me to be over, you know, Blake and Yang starting a relationship. I mean, I don't know, like, what the fuck do you want from me? But like, just from that, it kind of just sparked that conversation. But yeah, man, if you're watching Team Ruby, Volume 7, you can go ahead and check out the discussions. I got that. It'll probably be in the show notes, but it'll probably just like pop up on the YouTube thing if you're watching the YouTube. And yeah, man, so that's like, I think that's the first, it's my first non-one, but the reason I'm talking about it is because of BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. So for those that played that game, and I know for those that are interested in that fighting game and they're interested in Ruby, they became fans of the show Ruby. So I figured, fuck it, why not bring that back? And so, you know, check that out. Check out the Catherine Let's Play that I'm doing. The next one should be up. Before this video. So, and then the Star Wars Battlefront 2 video I did. I really go in and talk some shit on Star Wars, but you know, you can watch that too. You like Star Wars. And you want to see the glitches. Oh man, you're going to enjoy the glitches that I get into these next few episodes. You're going to love the glitches I discovered for Star Wars Battlefront 2. And that game was just recently patched. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. You know, so I tell you, if you want me to, I can get into my soap opera bag. I can get into my bag on the whole social media and just doing the whole YouTube and thing. And I think I told Gamer Composer before about, you know, the golden era and how we kind of missed it, but we could still recover and still do our own thing from, you know, doing these videos and chats and, you know, things. But ultimately, this is what I really wanted from the podcast, for Gamer Composer to actually speak his mind like I speak my mind on this motherfucker. So I'm actually happy. I finally got it. Where my victory music? Yo, we get the Final Fantasy music in this motherfucker. Love me some 10 too, baby. Finally got Gamer Composer to finally speak his fucking mind on something. Like his full fucking mind. The off chest one. I finally got it. Anything you want to say before we go?
No, I usually, unfortunately, Discord blanks out the music whenever you put it on, so it's like muted or something.
Oh, I'm so
I
sorry.
didn't hear anything you said. But,
Pretty much I just said I'm glad I finally got you to express yourself, like fully express yourself, like finally get something that was on your chest that you finally got to share about this industry. Because you do it sometimes, but you don't do it all the way, and this is the first time you've done it all the way. And I ultimately like that that's what I want from this podcast, for us to actually get the shit off our chest.
It's fresh. We talk about it. You get me to talk about it like days before the podcast, and then by the time the podcast happens, I don't have anything to say because I already got it off my chest.
Oh.
I told you about this before.
Okay.
Anyways, folks, thanks for listening. We were way over time. We'll probably break this up into 2 parts for you.
Why, man? It's only an hour and something minutes. We're good.
Yeah, everybody's got an hour.
Yeah, man, we're good. All right, man. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. We are out of here. So, of course, stay lit.
Skank 'em.